今天来讲导体跟绝缘体。导体英文叫 Conductors， 绝缘体叫 Insulators。当然还有半导体，还有超导体。半导体叫做 Semiconductors， 超导体叫做 Superconductors。现在画了一个导体的示意图。那这个导体是一个中性的一个状态，中性的英文叫 neutral， 意思就是说它的质子 proton 跟它的电子数量是一样的，所以它正电与负电量就会抵消掉。那这边这个绝缘体它也是中性的，那它们有什么不同呢？我们看它里面有很多的原子。There are a lot of atoms inside. And inside each atom, you have a nucleus. 有一个原子核。那外围的话有电子。这边只画一个。I only draw one proton and one electron. But you can draw more than that. Depends on the material. 看你是什么样的物质。不同的地方就是说，导体它可以有自由电子，所以这个最外围的电子一般来讲受到原子核的吸引不大。So this free electron, it's not attracted by this nucleus positive charge as strong. So they can if there's outside influence, they can then go and travel. So they are called free electrons. In the case of insulator, there's no such thing. This material, the outside electron still is very stuck. So the force, attractive force by the nucleus is large. 所以原子核还是把它外围的这个电子很强的吸引住了，所以它这个电子外围的电子它还是不能够从一个地方到另外地方很自由的移动。所以这就是导体跟超导跟绝缘体它主要的差别。好，那接下来我们来看，如果说你今天有一个导体，然后另外有一个是不带电，那这个导体上面它里面有很多的原子，那我就不画那个原子了。那现在就是说它比方说它现在有带多余的，还有多余的这个电子，那这个都是电子，这是多余的。所以现在它不是一个 neutral 的状态 ，is not neutral anymore because now you actual electron. And since I'm drawing this as a conductors, 因为我画的是一个导体，所以它这个导体如果它还没有接触以前的话，那它这个导体它的电子它会想办法跑到最边缘的地方去 ，because the electron will repel each other, right? So then they are free to move, then they will be at the surroundings. Now, if I bring this one here, it was here, and I move it so that they touch. What would happen is this free electron says, well, he is repelling me. 他在推他，它的互相之间有推力 ，right? So repel, repel, all repulsive. Now, this is adjective, but this is verb, right? 这是推，这个是推的So then this free electron is being pushed by the other electron, so then they will move, right? So then this will move over, and this will move over, and that will also move over. So eventually, it will look like if they are the same size, then you have some left on here, and you have some left on here, right? Well, they're still touching. I'm not drawing, right? So they're still touching, right? They're still touching. backward. Okay, so it's still touching. It's still touching. So because they also repel, so it'll be a little less on the surrounding here, but it will be, more like here, right? So that's how that will work. And then now if you separate them, you can then separate them. 你把它分开来. Then now you have two conductors, and both have half the charge now. So now you have, right? Now they separate, so then they will be evenly distributed. 它们会很平均的分布， right? 但它们都会在边缘， right? So they will be pushed to the border. The actual electron will be pushed to the border. Border 中文就是边界。Okay. So because of this repulsive force between negative and negative, it's repulsive. Right? 两个负电的话，它互相会排斥，中文叫排斥。排斥好像是这样，排斥，互相排斥。好的，那我们现在来看绝缘体会是怎样呢？然后 they look at insulator, right? So if you're insulator, this electron will not be at the border. Okay, they will be everywhere. If you have the extra charge, and they tend to be everywhere, and they are stuck. So this is extra electron, 多余的电子 and this is insulator, 绝缘体. So then this electron will be more evenly distributed throughout. 它们会平均分布 throughout 就是到处都是 and they are stuck, okay? And these electrons are stuck. These actual electrons are stuck. 它们是卡在那里的，它不会很容易到处动。If you have this case, and now you bring this, let's say you bring this to this one here, and this is also, say, conductor, insulator. In this case, this is having a hard time to go over here, okay? So it's hard to come over, right? This is difficult to come over, okay? Or maybe take some time, take a long time. Some of them will slowly come over, right? But almost not, right? Because they are stuck, being an insulator, right? But maybe near the boundary, maybe, right? 如果很接近这个边界的话，也许, right? Okay, so that's the insulator case, right? So now let's take a look at charge by induction. Induction in Chinese is 感应，感应生电，所以叫感应生电。So induction is 感应 and charge means 生电。So you produce the charge, 感应生电。Okay. So what does that mean? So if I have an insulator, right? So it can be, it doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive. So this is the extra positive charge. So first of all, extra positive charge, what does that mean? It means that you remove, right? This means 就是多余的正电 you remove, 你移开了 electron, right? You remove the electron from the originally neutral object. So this is the insulator that we are drawing. So then we'll be here. but it's charged. So this is the charge insulator to begin with. 所以它是一个有带电的绝缘体， right? 有带电的绝缘体。So now if you put this one here closer to a conductor, okay? Now this one here is a neutral conductor, 不带电的导体 ，neutral conductor. Okay. Now if you do this, but there's a space in between, and this one here is positive, so then the neutral, because you have free electron, so then the free electron will tend to move over here. Right? Try to get close because at this attractive force here, 有吸引力. So attractive force. Attractive means 吸引 in Chinese. Okay, so this is a conductor. So I got free electrons, so that's why he can move over here. Yeah, and originally this is neutral. So now since this is neutral, it means this is moving out from a neutral atom. So now the one that the losing electron will become positive. Okay, so it'll be kind of like that. And this positive is being, this here, this positive is repelled by this one here. 所以这边这个正电为什么会跑到这边来？因为这边有正电在，所以它会推它过去。那这边这个负电跑到左边来，因为它这边会吸引它。Okay, so this is the case for charge by induction, and we have this kind of case. So this case, if you put a ground, it doesn't really help, right? Well, it does actually, right? If you put ground there, well, no, it doesn't, because this is positive, and positive, this cannot move around, okay? Now, if I change this, now let me show you. If I change this, so now, same situation, but instead of positive, now if I make this one here negative, insulator, all right? Sorry, insulator, okay? So this is still a charge insulator. 带电的绝缘体 right? And now it still is induction. And this one here is conductor, so neutral conductor still. So then the positive will come over here. Well, positive doesn't come over here. It's the negative that moved to this side here. 就是自由电子从左边移到右边来了。So in this case, if I do this, now I connect it to a ground, meaning this is the Earth. 就这是一个地球，然后这是一个电线 wire， right? 这是一个电线。那地球什么状态呢？地球就是有很多的原子，很多的原子。那基本上地球是一个中性状态。那它也是一样，它有正电在中间，负电在外面，这是很多。OK， 那因为它有很多，它就等于是一个 ，because they have so many atoms, right? And they're all neutral, so it's kind of like a reservoir. 它像一个水库一样，那一个很 ，so it's a big, right? It's a big space. So then this free electron is repelled by this, and even though it's attracted by this, but then because of this repelling, some of them will go over here. 因为这边的负电会排斥它，虽然这边有一点正电的吸引，但是这个有些负电它显然是会跑离开的。就完全是看这个距离，这个靠得越近的话是什么状态，然后看这个这个电线的粗与细，那所以它的这个电阻是不一样的，等等，所以这个负电会往这边跑，那当然不是所有的负电都跑走了，有些负电还是会被这个正电所吸引。So some of the electron will still be attracted by this positive, but you'll lose some of them. So now, once you do this, right, then you cut the wire. You go and cut the wire now. Now this situation will become, this neutral conductor will become like that. Okay, so it may be 4 before, and there was a 1 left, so now you have 3, and now you got 3, and it'll be all in the border again. So that's so now you created a positive. So what you did is you create 你做了 right 你创造了一个 a positive charge conductor positively charged 带正电的导体。So that's what you did through this process. 在这个过程里面，你产生这样的东西了。好 ，So next we're talking about insulator and insulator. Okay, let's say you have a charge. Let's say this is a balloon, and this balloon, let's say it was positive, so it doesn't matter. Okay, this balloon has positive charge, and it's everywhere. This is a balloon. Okay, so balloon, it's an insulator, right? This is a balloon. And you just rub it with your hair or something. Okay, so you do the rubbing. So depends on what you rub with. Okay, so then it would decide to lose electron or keep or attract the electron. So it depends on what material you choose. Okay, I don't remember when you rub balloon with the hair what would happen, but let's say you rub with something, so now you're positive charge. 就现在你这个气球跟某一个物体它互相摩擦，然后最后气球的负电跑走了， right? 所以它现在是带正电。Now if you put it close to a wall, right? So this is a wall, 墙壁。Then you put it closer and closer. Now this is also an insulator. 这也是一个绝缘体。So insulator, you have atom, right? So this atom, the positive will be repelled and kind of shift it a little bit, but the negative will come over here. So same thing here. You have positive on this side, and you have negative closer to on this side. So they can shift. 它们可以略略的移动。Okay? 这是一种略略的移动。略略的移动。It's not free electron, but they can do a small, right, shifting. Okay? 略略的移动。Like that. So then you have this and minus, and you have positive, the nucleus. 原子核还是带正电，它这个不是自由电子，但是它这个电子会稍微略略移动。This is an insulator. So now you can see, even though they both are insulator, this is an insulator. 两个都是绝缘体，但是当你靠近的时候 this is not touching, right? You just get closer. 靠近 in Chinese means closer. You can see now you have this attraction now. So this balloon will actually move and move and move, and eventually the balloon would go and touch it. The balloon would touch here. The balloon will come over here, right? If you have enough attraction, right? So now you have attraction here, between here, right? Your attraction. Okay, so that's the review for conductor and insulator, right? 我们完成了我们的导体跟绝缘体的复习。好的，继续加油啊！如果有兴趣的话，订阅。拜拜。